Patrick, obviously you talk at length about the emotions of being back in a building. Obviously your connection with Pierre was deep and very rooted in family. We've talked about that a lot, but what was it like seeing the banner up in the rafters for the first time of Pierre and sort of the homage that's being paid to him?
Well, certainly well-deserved because, I mean, he was very passionate about the game of hockey. The time he was an agent or the time he was a GM, I mean, he had a dream, and his dream was to win one day the Stanley Cup. So when the opportunity came in for him to become a GM in Quebec and moving in Colorado, I mean, I knew that that's what he was aiming for. And obviously the chance that I got to be traded to the Avs and having a chance to win a Stanley Cup with him, I mean, these are things we were talking when he was the agent, and said, it'd be fun if one day we have that opportunity. But it was just cheap talk because we didn't know what the future was holding. But today, I mean, seeing Pierre, I mean, be recognized as a great builder and a man that put together a very good hockey team and really every year giving us a chance to win the Stanley Cup, deserves to be where he is.
Eric tells a lot of different stories about you guys growing up together, and
yes.
Obviously that, you know, Pierre was almost like a second father.
Yes.
What do you think the biggest takeaway from him that you learned was? Maybe not as just a player, but maybe it was as a person. Was there one lesson or something from Pierre that you really took away?
Well, one thing Pierre always said to me, be ready when you're retired. And he always wanted to make sure that we think about the life after hockey. And I guess that's the role of an agent, but I mean, he did it perfectly. I mean, you wanted to make sure that we work hard at what we were doing and we'd be ready for every year and making sure that Pierre was a very family person. I mean, all his clients, I mean, they were like his kids, his children. And he really wanted to make sure that you had everything and your focus was more on playing than worry about what distraction could be off the ice. So having him, I mean, helping me at the beginning of my career, especially playing in Montreal, was very important. And him and Colombe always been great to our family, and was very supportive in everything we've been doing.
I know it's going to be a warm welcome back for you. You had a huge part, a pioneer of this place. So welcome back to Colorado. Thanks for the time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Morning, Coach.
Morning.
Georgiev going tonight?
Yes.
What's just kind of the mood in the locker room today? I know you said that yesterday guys were feeling good. It's kind of carried over.
Yeah, it's carried over today. Starting to get the focus we need for tonight. I thought yesterday was a really good day, just kind of getting back, resetting mentally, and yeah, had a quick little practice yesterday, and today's optional again, making sure our energy's up for tonight.
Can I ask you about that a little bit? There's
Yeah.
philosophy with coaches in the past, you know, different thoughts on morning skate. Is the optional something that you're kind of embracing, or is it just kind of lining up that way with the way you guys are practicing?
No, I'm embracing it. I think it's like some of our guys want to skate, so we're giving them the option to go on. And some guys are implementing other morning routines. Alexi has a lot to do with that, our strength coach. Some guys can get some quality lifts in the morning, and there's science behind it, and there's things that he wants to accomplish with guys throughout the course of the year. And it's another morning where you can activate the nervous system. So we're doing that. I don't mind not skating. You know, last year we had a lot of actually, for the last few years, you have a lot of games where you come out, you got a couple of guys dinged up, you got, you know, our top guys with lots of minutes, so we'd have a lot of optional practices. So we'd want to skate in the morning, get the power plays, zipping it around a little bit, and but we've been doing lots of practice, right? Training camp's a long time, lots of practice. Especially for our top guys that don't play a lot of games through exhibition, and I think it's good for them to just kind of relax and focus on the task at hand tonight.
Do you envision Shillington or let's say one of those guys getting a game here soon? I guess is tonight an option for any?
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to give you tonight's lineup though. We had the question marks yesterday in practice, and it doesn't do me any good to give the Islanders our lineup.
After Patrick Waugh returns tonight for the first time since he left, you guys are kind of linked together in this organization with him leaving and you coming in. Looking back at when you were hired that first season, like how crazy was it, that protracted, preseason training camp for you?
Yeah, it was. Well, getting to know everyone is the toughest thing in a short time frame. I actually really liked the way our staff came in and the meetings we had and the preparation through training camp. I thought it was a really good training camp. Good start to the year, really, It was when we lost, I think, Barley and EJ right around the same time where things started to fall apart. It was really challenging, but I was proud of our guys and our staff for, the work we put in through training camp. But getting to know the players, the staff, how everyone operates, the familiarity with the league for me, I think was a challenge in this short amount of time. As far as me and Patty goes, I probably owe him a big hug and a steak dinner. It's like everyone does what's right for them personally, but for me, it just opened a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Have you ever met or spoken to him since?
No.
Does it add something extra to this game to have him back here, maybe just for the crowd and that atmosphere?
Well, I think like there's obviously the relationship with the fans in the city of Denver for him would be something special, right? And then there's still some players here that played for him. I don't know Patty, so like for me, it's a game that we, regardless of who we're playing against, if I had a relationship with him or not, it's a game that we got to focus on winning.
Do you have any plans to try to meet him after the game?
Probably not.
Okay.
You talked about young guys, you want them to stay with their game. When you're playing with McKinnon and Randon, it might be intimidating to kind of hold on to the puck. Do you have to talk to Kovalenko a little bit? Just like, hey.
Yeah, we did going in, and I talked to him this morning actually again, because I thought that line was really good. It got better as the game went on, actually. Part of the reason for that, I think, is Covey got back to what his identity is. He's a skilled player, but he's also got this nice mix of grit and determination, a little bit of a power forward. He's a really good forechecker. He's pretty good at winning puck battles, not just because of his tenacity in those battles, but because of his skill, and then still able to make some plays. So I thought it was simpler for him as the game went on. He looked a little bit more relaxed, like running into people, winning battles, and then giving the puck up to Mac. I think if it's just all skill and trying to force plays into Mac and Mikko, then it usually doesn't turn out well for players. But he did a nice job in that spot.
I don't know how much of this you can share or actually even remember, but the day that Patrick Waugh resigned as head coach, was that one of those instances where you reached out to the team after you heard that? Did somebody reach out to you? Like, how did that process go to make you a candidate?
Yeah, I got a call from Chris. I didn't see it. It was like I was getting ready. End of summer, I was in South Carolina, and I just signed a new deal to go back with Cleveland. So it was kind of like my last weekend at home with family and friends, and I got a call. So that changed my plans significantly. I basically packed up because I'd been in Cleveland and back a couple times in the summer, and a lot of my work stuff was there. So I went and hunkered down in Cleveland for a week, digging into the Avs, and getting prepared for an interview, and ended up flying in the next weekend.
Prater was already here, right?
He was, yeah.
It helped to have that connection. I mean, obviously he's still here. He's a key part of your staff. Was before also. Yeah,
Chris and Nolan were both already here, right? So that helps for sure. I'd spent, I think it was 5 straight years with Prater already, working with him, and same with Chris. So I think Chris was here the year earlier. But any type of familiarity, especially with guys that you really respect and know well and trust, I think helps. It's why you see when someone takes over a position that they often bring in guys that they know and trust, and so it's like there's a little bit helps with the transition. It's seamless.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Optional skates. What do you get out of an optional skate? Is that something that just helps you kind of get mentally prepared and get into that routine for the game?
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. I'm pretty inconsistent with whether I go out or not, so just depends on how you're feeling that day. And yeah, that's about it. It's been nice. I think having the option is good, and guys can get what they need.
It's a little bit of time to digest the last couple of games, and you guys had a good meeting with Coach yesterday. Just sort of where's the mindset coming into tonight?
I think the mindset's honestly the same. I think Coach read us some stats and analytics stuff, but I think it goes a long way. I think from that side of things, we've been pretty good. So I try to stick to the same game plan. I think it's just, for us, not about forcing it, and go out there, play free, and have some fun. I think we should be fine.
Coach said you guys needed to focus on just relaxing and playing hockey at the end of the day. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, you're kind of waiting for the start of the year the whole summer, and I don't think it's necessarily been the start that we wanted. So obviously, that leads to a little frustration, but I think for us it's key to let that go and just go play. I think we have the skill, we have the players to win a lot of games, so just go play hockey.
Does it help knowing what you guys are capable of from last year at a time like this at the start of the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have a confidence in the group. I mean, you look around and you look at some of the guys we have, and I don't think it's like we have not been making plays or getting chances. I think we've had plenty of chances and scored, honestly, plenty of goals. So I think just stick to that same game plan and things we can clean up defensively, and we're going to clean those up, and I think we should be fine.
Were you a little too young to see Patrick Roy this day? Were you watching him? Do you know anything about him?
Obviously, I know about him, but I was a little young for that. I don't remember. I remember when he was coaching here, but don't remember much of him playing.
When you're down in between periods, like you guys were in the last game, what's the message in the room from the leadership group?
Yeah, I think it depends on how the period went, but I thought last game, we really weren't that bad. We had a couple breakdowns, and they ended up in our net. So I think when it's a period like that, it's pretty positive, and I thought we controlled the game. So I don't think there was anything very negative said, and I actually thought there was some really good things to build on.
Power play's been rolling first two games. Are you guys pretty happy with how that top unit's going right now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, we got a lot of good players out there with Kale and Nate and Mikko, and they've been doing it together for a long time. So I think it's probably expected, but also it's been very good. So happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think it's more bonus for just everybody for just like a mood. So we did just good thing just for last game, and we keep a save this and just continue just pressure, continue just play game and have fun.
How difficult is it to stay motivated in situations like these where you're down 2 games?
I know like you, but for me it's so easier like motivation because I think everybody would like just win the game. So it's I think we just every game just would like this, and I think it's after winning the game just everybody like fun, everybody just perfect mood, so it's like easier.
Does participating in this optional practice help you get mentally prepared for this game?
Come again, please?
The optional practice, being part of it this morning, does that help you get mentally prepared for the game?
Just more skates for just a couple minutes, like 5-10 minutes, just feeling my body, feeling my skates, sticks, arms, so just shoot. I like to just.
How fun is it to play with Nathan MacKinnon?
It's a so hard question. It's a perfect experience first of all for me because I think just everybody would like just to play with him because he's superstar. So I like it.
You're playing tonight against Patrick Roy, and he was traded for your dad one time. How much has your dad ever really talked about that trade?
Maybe we'll talk about like a couple times because it's history. It's like when I maybe just ask him about why you just traded this team, he just thought explain me, but it's not big. I think just for him it's not big decision for just trade because in Like 30 years ago, it was so easy, or not like today. It's so easy like trade. They just everybody like just trade in other teams. So I think for me, it's like doesn't matter. To be honest.
Not everybody gets traded for one of their.
Obviously, I mean, being back here with the organization and coach for 3 years was a privilege. And if I go back to the past, I mean, obviously, I mean, I wish I would have done things different, and in the time I think I didn't have enough respect for the position of coaching. I think I learned a lot from it, and I think it makes me the coach I am today. So do I have regrets? No, because it makes me who I am today, and I think I'm in a much better place today than I was then. More respect for the position, more appreciation for, you know, be back in the league and work in the league. So I'm thankful for Lou to give me that opportunity. And at the same time, things went well for the Avs. I mean, Jared's been doing a very good job for them, and he's still coaching the team, and they had a lot of success.
How do you feel you've changed as a coach since then?
Other than respect the position, I work a lot harder. I mean, I think in the past I would take things for granted, thinking that, you know, sometimes it's nice to put your ego aside and understanding that it's a privilege coaching in this league. And every day you need to put the work, everything you try to learn new things. And I think that's what I've been doing a lot better than I was doing then.
When you look at some of the players that were young when you were here, Nathan MacKinnon comes to mind, what's it been like watching him from a distance to the player that he is now, and knowing the potential you saw in him early on?
Well, I will say this, on my stay in for those 3 years here, that's the thing I'm the most proud of, because, I mean, we would not have drafted MacKinnon if I wasn't been there. So, you know, and I'm proud to see how Mac has been playing for them. I mean, the leader that he became, and win an MVP, and you know, at least, I mean, I see that he's doing a really super nice job for them.
Eric Johnson is someone that always credits you for bringing his career to where it got, and even last year when he came back to visit, he mentioned you. Was it nice for you to see him get a chance to win the Stanley Cup?
Yes. Well, every one of them, quite honestly. I mean, I always have the Avs in my heart, so same thing with the Montreal Canadiens and the Avs. So for them winning the Stanley Cup, I didn't go, oh geez, they won the Stanley Cup. No, I was happy for them. I text Joe right after and tell them how proud I am from seeing them winning that Stanley Cup. I mean, when you play here for those years, I mean, the connection with the fans and the opportunity to wear that jersey night after night, it's something that we put a lot of pride in, but we're proud also as I see the team and the organization doing so well.
Last year when you made your return to Montreal, a lot of fanfare, but you were so focused on the team. I'm assuming a similar mindset for tonight.
It'll be the exact same thing. I mean, I'm here to do a job with the Islanders and try to win a hockey game. That's where my focus will be. I mean, like I said, I had great memories over those 11 years that I was involved with the organization, and I'm thankful for it.
When you come back here, I'm sure Pierre's in your heart and your mind. Where does your thoughts go first?
Well, as a player, he's the one that gave me my chance. So obviously, I mean, I'm always gonna have a thought for him, and he was my agent when I started playing the game in Montreal, my career in Montreal, and I was thankful when he made the trade for me coming back here in Colorado. So I was having the chance to win those 2 Stanley Cups. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, the 8 years, I mean, I was here, we made 6 times the conference final and win 2 Stanley Cups, so that was a pretty good run. And it was fun to be part of it, and the fans we sell every night, so I mean, and the fans enjoyed our team, so.
It looked like when you hit the ice, you took a moment to kind of glance up and look around. Did you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's impressive. I mean, see the number of banners that there is in this organization. I mean, you know, when you take the time to think about it, I mean, from the moment they came here in 95, 96 season and to today, I mean, this franchise has been very successful. So it's nice to see that, and I'm sure it'll continue to be.
Did you
ever doubted you'd get back into coaching at MA and NHL level?
Doubt, I'm not sure. But when I made the decision, I knew maybe it would take time, and it crossed my mind that maybe I would never had a chance. But I was receiving calls towards the end, so I knew there was some interest, but interest doesn't mean much in my. So I mean, when I got the call from Lou and a lot of good conversation with Lou, I mean, I was pretty happy to have the chance to be back in the game. I'm very passionate about our game, and I feel like I could help our group, and that's the mindset. And I'm in to win a Stanley Cup one day, so that's what I want to do.
2 last questions, guys.
Is it Elliott tonight in that?
Yes.
Just what are you looking to see from him? Obviously, his first game back.
I just want him to be him. You know, I mean, it's his first game back, so I want him to feel comfortable out there, and I want us to play really, really well, like we did with Varley in front of the net. I want us to play well defensively.
Is there anything you look for in terms of, I don't know, mobility or comfort with him, obviously coming off, back issue?
Yeah, it's a good question, but I will leave it to Piero to tell me how he felt. But Piero thinks he's ready to play, so in my mind, he's ready to do those things.
It seems like Varley plays his best hockey when he's there with you. What is it that works between you?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a good connection, but I enjoy Varley. Varley is a great team.